everything, like, all the things, like, just... Anyways, so, plus my sleeping disorder, anyways, Donnie was talking all this shit about me to his hubby, Michael, and I really like Michael, actually. He's just a friend, like, that he met, like, online, and he, like, will FaceTime with him. But I walked downstairs, and he's, like, talking all this shit about me, which, you know, I get, like, you know, he vents to him, and he vents to his mom. I don't, like, but he, like, doesn't, he's very, like, I like, have a best friend, Grey Worm. His name is not really Grey Worm, but he, we've never met, but he was, like, my online best friend for a really long time. And, same with Richard, who was, like, I mean, still Richard, obviously, like, I fly BFF, I fly firecrackers BFF. We just don't talk as much anymore. So anyways, like, I have no one to vent to, and I'm never, like, alone. Now he's working, so it's like I have a little more time. But long and short, so after he did this whole venting thing, and, like, I was so pissed. He was like, I'm just gonna leave. Like he packed his shit. He's like, I'm gonna sleep in my car. And I was just like, oh my fucking god. And so anyways, he was in his car, like, until, like, 8 in the morning, then came in and got in the bed, and I was like, get out of the fucking bed. But, next day, doing a little better, but because I knew, like, he's got this coworker, and he cannot keep secrets. Like, he's terrible with it. Anything that's on his chest weighs on him, and he's got to tell you, like, right away. Like, I hate weed, and he quit weed alone, like, last year, and it was just amazing because he's got schizophrenia, and it is terrible to do substances with schizophrenia and not take your medicine, blah blah blah. Anyway, so when he quit weed, like, it was like night and day, you know. So anyways, like, I had picked him up from work one time, and, like, he was like, I was like talking, blah, 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 and, like, he just blurts out, I smoked weed with my manager. And I was like, like, we didn't, like, it's a 2-minute ride, it was, and, like, you couldn't wait that long to tell me, which is, like, great, you know, but at the same time, it's like, afterwards, once he gets it off his chest, he stops feeling, like, the guilt. And when he cheated on me in Arkansas for a month, while I was pregnant, he does not consider that cheating because I supposedly like told him off and told him he wasn't, like, good enough, blah, blah, blah. We were just fighting, and he is 10 years younger, so it's like, you know, I don't think he's starting to kind of understand, you know, you fight, but when you fight, you don't fucking break up, you know, like, we're in an adult relationship, and now we have a child together. We're in a fucking adult relationship, and we're engaged. He proposed. My ring has been too big since I have had the baby and I'm losing weight. But anyways, I just put it on because he told me that this girl that he worked with, that he went over. First, he told me he put a lidocaine patch on. What is my time at? Fuck. First, he told me he put a lidocaine patch on her back, and that she's so cool, did MMA too, blah, 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 cool girl. I'm like, how old is she? Like, he's like 21. I'm like, he supposedly likes older women, but anyways, every time he's cheated on me, it's been with a younger girl so far anyways, and, like, even my mom was like, you can't fucking go over, she didn't say fucking, but you can't go over to another girl's house after work. Like, you can't do that. And he's like, we're just friends. We're watching Rick and Morty. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, you can't do that. I'm sorry. And, well, he said he felt controlled and got all pissed off or whatever. And then last week we were not getting along. And, like, he was such a dick about it. Like, when I asked, you know, did you do anything with her? And he's like, no. And he was like, you can smell my dick, but you have to suck it. And I was just like, he used this old, like, joke that, well, it wasn't a joke, but, like, long story. But I told him about this poor girl that had this horrible boyfriend that would go and cheat on her, and then, like, she'd be asleep in bed, and they had, like, a baby and stuff, and she'd be asleep in bed, and he'd, like, stick his penis in her face and be like, smell it. And I'm just like, what the fuck? So anyways, my friend Jen and I had this whole little, like, joke, like, smell my dick. Oh, anyways, the second part was not part of it, and he told me yesterday that he was unfaithful to me. And I was just like, okay, so you had been talking all this shit about me, and I'm gonna have to, like, hang on to this. My mom's gonna get pissed. Actually, I'll go like that for right now, and then I'll go. But talking all this shit about me and everything, and I was like, did you tell Michael and your mom that you cheated on me? And he's like, no. And I was like, I want you to fucking tell them. Like, you're talking all this shit about me. I've been faithful, aside from literally 2 weeks, maybe 3 into our relationship, when I did not, well, I wasn't even really sure that I liked him. Like, I kind of thought he was mentally disabled because he was high all the time, and with the schizophrenia and not being on meds, he was all over the fucking place. And so, but I'd see little glimpses, and I was like, oh, he's so hot, you know, like, whatever, like, I'll just, you know, it'll be just a fling. And my ex, Mike, and I, like, were terrible together, but we, like, still hung out and talked, and, like, he was a really dear friend, and we also would sleep together once in a while. Well, Mike was like, this guy's fucking nuts, he, like, you know, 86 this guy, and I was, because he immediately did not want me hanging out with Mike, and now, I kind of get that, you know, but I went over there, and, I mean, in half the time I would hang out with Mike, we would not, more than half, we wouldn't do anything, you know, just talk and catch up, whatever. And he was, like, one of those people that's, like, just wants to be alone, so it's, like, an hour or two, and it's like, okay, bye. But, so I lost my friend, and so I had slept with Mike, and one time, like, 3 weeks into our relationship, and I was like, so once I actually did start, like, falling in love with Donnie, I was like, fuck, you know, because, like, it happened really fast, actually, because it was, like, he was off drugs for a while and got on medicine, and I saw his real personality, and we, like, just really clicked. We were laughing all the time, and, like, I was like, well, shit, you know, like, and he asked constantly if I'd slept with Mike, and I was just like, no, lying, yes. And then later he, like, it was still really early on, I left Grey Worm a message. It was a recording that I sent him, because I finally got away one time. Donnie would not let me, like, go anywhere alone, like, from the beginning. It was really psychotic, and I was so used to being alone. It was just like, so I was so pissed, and I don't remember what I was doing, but I got to get in the car and, like, be gone for, like, 20 minutes, right? So I'm, like, you know, venting on the phone to my recording thing, and I said some pretty shitty things, like, I called him, like, a hillbilly, blah, blah, but he had also sent Mike a fucking, like, message, and just like went off on him and did all these things, and like, so like it was just completely inappropriate, and to like involve him, he like got on his Facebook, all these things, and then contacted his girlfriend, which I know, shitty, like, that we were doing that. It was, long story, like, he had just gotten together with her a while back, and anyways, so, this was really on the down low, and, like, and we could have just, returned to just being, like, friends, but Donnie made me stop talking to him, so, and then he consumed so much of my time, I couldn't work online, because if there's a guy, like, in any of these, like, chat room type things, like, they will close your account, like, you're fucked, and all these things, and so it's like, he cheated on me for a month in Arkansas, and introduced this girl to his family while I was 18 weeks pregnant. He was there